Welcome to the University of West England's Virtual Open Day. My name is Dr. Ian Barton and I'm here to give you a brief presentation about the BEng and the MEng mechanical engineering programs. So without any further ado, welcome to my presentation. I'm the program leader for mechanical engineering, which covers bachelor's and master's degrees. This can be delivered as a part-time or a full-time program, and the bachelor's program is used by industry to teach degree apprentices. The presentation structure will give you a brief introduction about mechanical engineering and why you should want to study it at UWE, and which program you might want to choose, a BEng or an MEng, whether you'd want to choose to do a placement, our approach to teaching mechanical engineering. We'll briefly mention extracurricular activities and industrial connections we have, and then finally wrap up the presentation with any other business which would include how to apply and your requirements. And if you don't mind, I would like my talking head to appear throughout the presentation to make it a bit more friendly for this virtual open day. So what is mechanical engineering? Well, you've lucked out. It's the most versatile engineering discipline that you could choose. It's about building and manufacturing all the products that are around us. So therefore you need skills in design, manufacture, research and development, along with management and even marketing. You'll have skills that can let you go and work in virtually any industry. So I guess the next question we need to ask is, why would you want to come and study at UWE? Obviously, we have very enthusiastic students. And more obviously, we have a very beautiful looking teaching team. But more seriously, the reason why you want to come to UWE is we have excellent engineering facilities for you to use as part of your degree. We've got industrial instrument stress and fatigue machines which you can use, advanced composite lab where you can build things, CNC and 3D printing which is integrated with your CAD models that you can then build. There's a large industrial flow tank which is second to none, thermodynamics research equipment. And along with this, we have a load of teaching tools and facilities. All of these research facilities and the teaching facilities we're aiming to integrate into the classroom so that we have an integrated teaching approach from what you will be using in industry. The other way that's different from other degrees is that we have this integrated learning framework. So there's subjects for common themes that are taught across the year where you might be working in groups or working on individual projects. And along with that, there's core themes that you will be studying, such as stress, dynamics control, manufacturer, mathematics, thermodynamics. And with these topics, these themes, which obviously get increasingly difficult from year on year, we try and teach them in parallel with other engineering disciplines. Then there'll be your specialist disciplines that only you're taught in mechanical engineering. And then finally, there's professionalism and design topics. You'll notice that there's the option to have a placement in, I need to move my little head down here, don't I? There's the option of having a placement between years 2 and 3. Our goals are aligned with the UN's sustainability goals. So for number 6 and number 7, we have projects in both clean water and sanitation and affordable and clean energy. Along with that, goal number 5 is being incorporated into our new curriculum, where we're looking at energy and diversity, inclusion and professionalism. And so this will help give you a broad range of competencies and social responsibilities required to be a professional engineer in the workplace. And finally, why you would want to come to UWE is, according to the Destination of Leavers in Higher Education survey, so that's an independent survey carried out for our students from last year, 100% of them were in either full-time employment or further education. So we have a great success rate of finding further work if you do a mechanical engineering degree. Next we come to which program should you choose, the bachelor's or the master's? Now the easiest way to become a chartered engineer is to have a master's in engineering. We've been accredited since 2007 on our old framework, and we're currently going for a new accreditation process at the moment with the Institute for Mechanical Engineers. So a master's would be a good option to choose if you want to become a chartered engineer. There is a difference between whether you join on the B-Eng or the M-Eng for the UCAS points, 112 for B-Eng and 120 for M-Eng. However, to switch from one program to the other program is relatively straightforward, provided you are achieving a good average of results in your second year on the B-Eng. So you can join on the B-Eng and then transfer to the M-Eng at year 3, depending on what your grades are at year 2, and they need to be currently around 60% on average to be able to switch. Similarly, unfortunately, if your M-Eng results are not so great, then you might be demoted to the B-Eng program. Next question is, should I take a placement? On the whole, we would recommend yes. We found from our experience that students that take a placement do usually end up with better degrees and far better employability record. I think the thing for this is that it gives them a chance to work in industry, to focus themselves, and to learn new skills as well. What students do is they arrange their own CVs, and we have a placement service which helps find them particular placements. And back in 2015, we were awarded the finalist as one of the best universities to find placements for our students. Placements, as I said, normally occur between years 2 and 3. What is the teaching like at UWE, and why are we so proud of it? How have we achieved such a high satisfaction rate and a TEF Gold in teaching in our department? Like all universities, we do a lot of lecture teaching, but unlike a lot of universities, we do a lot of class-based teaching too. And also, when we come to look at our lecture teaching, we try to make that more fun and more interactive than other places. So for example, we do polling and quizzes even during our lectures. Where we can, and it's appropriate for the module, we also do something called flipped learning. So here you see me with a video explaining something to the students. The students will learn this material and then maybe come to a class-based session where we can go over the material after they've watched the, if you like, recorded lecture on screen. Sometimes, of course, it's more appropriate to have a big lecture. Even in these cases, we video the material and you can see here what it looks like being played back at a later date for a student. So we're studying whether a particular polystyrene beam is going to break, and here you can see me risking life and limb about to stand on this polystyrene I-beam. We've calculated that it should just take my weight, and the majority of students agree with my calculations. However, we were wrong. Whenever appropriate and whenever we can, we like to have what's called a lectorial and lab tutorials. So these will be tutorials, but they'll be based in the lab where students can work, usually in groups of about 15 to 20 with a particular tutor. Here's some of my tutoring team from the past. We feel that it's really important to have lab-based activities as part of your modules and to somehow integrate that with your learning, in particular in your first couple of years at university. In the first and second semester, we have what's called Project Week for first years and for second years. You can see there's a large conference center. So this is me taking a photograph in the middle of the hall there, the photograph in the middle, and I'm looking at one end, then I'm looking at the other end. So you can see what a big center it is. There's some happy students here that won prizes on the bottom left. Middle left, you can see a local businessman who's an ex-UE student. He came and gave a talk and encouraged the students. And of course, we have a very important guest and encouraged us there, the Vice Chancellor. So the project-based learning activity is actually considered a very important part of your program. When you're in your degree, it's important for us that you're working together with other students, like you saw in the Project Week. There's other projects where students work together. In particular, when the students start studying things like CAD, we're using SolidWorks and Abacus, and other modeling and simulation packages. We find it's helpful for students to work together and work on problems. Computer-aided design is mainly done with SolidWorks. Modeling and simulation, we usually use MATLAB. Finite element analysis is ANSYS or Abacus. And for computational fluid dynamics, we use ANSYS or Fluent. All these software packages are available in a free form for students to download and to use on their own laptops, usually in a student version. As part of your first year, we've hired out a local college where you can learn to do milling certificate. So this is incorporated in one of our modules, but this gives you some real hands-on experience that you probably wouldn't find at most universities. The final thing I want to say about teaching is your final year project. And these can happen in the third and also your fourth year. The final year projects, the important one is the individual project, but there's also group projects, and in the masters there's a group project as well. Now these final individual year projects are important because they're basically really what you want to take and show to an employer what you can do. You have full access to the workshop and all its facilities. The technicians are an excellent resource and they're very helpful. So if you want to do a lab-based project, you are really encouraged to. A lot of our students tend to do modeling, but if you want to do a lab project and use the facilities which is a very good thing to do, in particular for a master's student. Then you have full access to those facilities. There's two extracurricular activities I'd like to mention. The first one is with the Formula student team. So each year we sponsor a small group of students, well, quite a large group of students, to build a Formula One car. And this is raced at Silverstone. So this is organised nationally with the Formula Student competition with Institute of Mechanical Engineers. And you can see our ratings are going up and up and up. So you would be welcome and encouraged to join that team. They always need a good mechanical engineer. The other activity is both embedded in our teaching with the Project Week, which is for Engineers Without Borders, but it's also an engineering society at UWE. So in the past we've had students who have won competitions during the Project Week then go on to enter the Engineers Without Borders Design Challenge, and last year we can see Marianne there. I need to highlight her. See Marianne, who is the lead shooter, and she took the student team to London, and we became semi-finalists for that. And here is this year's hopefuls who won the prize during our Project Week. So I'd like to tell you about our industrial connections. This first slide shows you in recent years where all our students have gone to. As you can see, and being employed. As you can see, there's quite a lot of companies there. This second slide shows you all the companies that send their part-time students to UWE. So local industry find us a great provider and educator for their employees. The ones that are highlighted in gold are also companies that send students not only to the part-time degree program, but also to the apprentice program, where effectively they're taught the same material. So we have a lot of support from industry. And finally, well, I hope you enjoy the rest of this virtual open day. Please ask questions if you have any. And my contact details are available here. Dr. Ian Barton, which is ian.barton@uwe.ac.uk. Well, what can I say? I hope you enjoyed the presentation, and me along with a colleague will be here to take any further questions that you might have about the program. And I sincerely hope to see all of you soon face to face in the near future.